Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about the dumbest feature that I've ever had to implement. So let's get into it. So the question in question was pretty much that. Fredrik, what is the dumbest thing somebody's ever asked you to build? And the short answer is a price. That is probably it right there. Because, I mean, if we want to talk about non-technical people asking me for the moon, where it comes to basically designing a system that figures out the philosophical problems of what it is to exist as a human and what human desire is, that's also up there, but it's too outlandish and it's not just relevant, because I wanted to stick to something that I actually had to build. Now you might ask, price. What do you mean, Fredrik? Are you talking about a number followed by a unit, or a unit, and that actually is also relevant? Did the unit come before or after, and so forth? Yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a number with a currency amount attached to it. This is the dumbest thing I've ever had to build. Now, the reason why this is the dumbest thing I've ever had to build is because I need to give you a bit of a backstory. So I used to work for a company where the way that work was done was based on a massive democracy between different stakeholders, where all of the customers had their say in how to implement the various features because they were all on the same product. Now, what that means is that whenever we prioritized our backlog, they had a big sit down. It was very similar to a democratic type of entity, where everybody sat down and they voted on different features, what was going to go in, what's going to go out, and all of these different things, as you can imagine. And the one thing they really all had, they all had an opinion on this, was the price. Why? Very simple. Because this company was a global company, and they had different countries where it was considered politically sensitive, and that's the thing that's gonna kill you guys. Political stuff. The sort of stuff that, and I've said this to you guys a few times before, learn how to work within the confines of the context. Like, you need to be able to write the best code given the situation, because who could have imagined it would be a hassle to just show a price? No. It is easy to get the price on the page. It would literally be we're talking less than 30 minutes of work, full time, to build and do everything. If we could just get all the stakeholders to decide where is the currency sign going to be. We can't use the standards, of course. That's a no-go, because everybody had an opinion on if they wanted to use the ISO standard or if they wanted to do something else. And then, of course, should we format the actual number with colons or dots? Should we format it with spaces for every group of threes, like at the 1,000 and 100,000 and so forth? And 10,000 should also be grouped in a specific way. We couldn't just use the ISO standard. And then, of course, we have people who said that no, we don't want to just show the price, the sum, what the people are going to actually pay. We want to show the sum minus the extra fees that we add on top, because that's going to be in a separate section. And then you had people who said, no, we can't have that either. We need to have a breakdown of the price, so that there's a slider that you can click so that you see the full price, and then you see all the sums that are all the fees and so forth that actually make up the total price. And then another one that says, well, no, we don't want that slider, because that's not going to fit our use case. We're going to have a separate page, or they need to have a document that they can download that shows very clearly that all of these fees are actually included, because they need to be able to download it as well. And it should, of course, also be on the receipt that they get when they actually print all of this out. By the time we finally got the specifics, like the actual specification of how this price, I am not joking, guys, we're talking about a piece of text on a page. It is like the smallest little thing you can imagine. I think we spent 2 weeks to just try to figure out like all the combinations of what you were supposed to be able to do. It turned in the end of it, the only thing that is possible to do in this situation was pretty much what we did. Well, there are two ways, of course, but as we were saying, we could not get them to align on we're going to show the ISO standard, like we're just going to use the standard and that's it. No, it ended with us having a configuration in a big CRM system that they were using, which was one of the projects that we were maintaining, and then they could basically configure that in multiple ways. So just getting that little piece of text that showed how the price was going to be displayed was a 2-week job pretty much. Oh, and I forgot one more. And one stakeholder said, no, we need to be able to highlight it in in a nice color and bold and stuff like that, because we want the price to be very prominent on our page. And then another stakeholder chimed in and said, no, we don't want that, because we've had some concerns regarding pricing, so we want to downplay it a little bit. I had never in my life thought that so many people could have so many different opinions on that amount of text. But that was the case. So what I want you to take away from this is that the dumbest feature that I pretty much have ever had to implement was a price for a fairly major company. And the reason why it felt like the dumbest thing in the world was because politics. It's the main reason why I've been telling you guys that learning how to deal with stakeholders and learning how to move people around and get them to align on things is in many cases at least as important as learning how to write really good code. Because in this scenario, the problem wasn't that we couldn't write the code to solve this problem. The problem was that we couldn't get people to decide how the fucking thing was supposed to work. Have a great day.